Super Smash Bros. Brawl. No, wait, don't go! Brawl was known for many things, like this, and also, whoa! Officially known as pratfalling and referred to as slipping in the game's files, tripping is a mechanic of Super Smash Bros. That was first introduced in Brawl. Many people viewed tripping as a gimmick that ruined Smash's potential as a fighting game. But regardless of whether that statement is true or not, tripping is a lot more interesting than what's on the slippery surface. So let's take an in-depth trip and learn everything there is about this controversial mechanic. Tripping. What is tripping? Is this a trip? Excuse me, ma'am, I think I dropped my banana peel over here. Have a nice trip, see you next. When a character trips, they are forced into a sitting position. Characters that are sitting down have the same options compared to the lying down position, most commonly caused by mistech. The difference between these two states is sitting characters can be grabbed, get up options and attacks have less intangibility frames, and are weaker compared to attacks lying down. Seems like a pretty simple part of the game. So what made it so controversial? Well, the main cause of tripping, and the infamous reason why Brawl was so hated, is that every time the control stick is smashed, the player would have a 1% chance to trip. Now, a 1% chance may seem small, but think about how many times during a match a player would need to run, or even use forward smash or side B. In addition, there is also a 1.25% chance to trip during a character's turnaround animation. And you know what's even more crazy? Terrain with a lack of traction like ice increases the chance by 2.5 times. Not that it actually matters since nobody was playing tournament sets on an iceberg, but I like the attention to detail. So now you have a mechanic that punishes players for not only dash dancing, one of Melee's most popular movement options, but also running, a core movement option of any fighting game. This forced players into constantly walking, only playing in the air, or having the ever-present, looming threat of looking like an absolute goober. Look at this idiot! But what if I told you that even without this notorious cause of tripping is still random? Attacks with more than 55 units of knockback that hit at an angle that doesn't lift the opponent off the ground have a 13.5 chance of tripping. This was changed to 7% in patch 1.1.4 of Smash 4 and remained that way in Ultimate. On top of this, some attacks have an additional chance to trip. This stacks with the base trip chance, so it's actually inaccurate to say that random tripping was removed entirely. More like one really bad random cause of it was. But enough about boring percentages and numbers and probabilities. What is this, a 3 blue, 1 brown video? Did you know that characters from more serious franchises have realistic sound effects when they fall? However, more cartoony characters have goofier noises instead. Speaking of absolute cornballs, Luigi's Final Smash in Brawl is the only Final Smash that causes tripping, along with being the only Final Smash that makes me consider trying Mushroom. Lucas's taunt actually has him trip on the floor, but it has no actual effect on him. Other items like the banana peel, go figure, the fan, and Tingle from the assist trophy can... Wait, hold on. Why does it say trip for all of these moves and slip for banana peel? Are you telling me that tripping and slipping are two different mechanics? Now that is tripping. Oh, brother! There are a few moves in the game that cause the opponent to slip, not to be confused with tripping. Slipping trips grounded opponents, regardless of whether or not the opponent would leave the ground from the knockback of the move. Essentially, slipping allows characters to trip, knock down opponents, and even opponents sitting down caused by a previous trip. Slipping is what allowed the infamous Diddy Kong Infinite in Brawl and early Ultimate to exist. Furthermore, attacks with the slip effect have the ability to cause both soft and hard trips, while attacks with trip chances can only cause hard trips. The difference between a soft trip and a hard trip is that a soft trip immobilizes a character for around 30 frames, while hard trips have around 40 frames of lag. Diddy Kong's banana peel, when thrown, causes a hard trip, but when stepped on, causes a soft trip. In Smash 4, a lot of custom moves were able to cause the opponent to slip. Good thing those were banned, except for that one Evo. Tripping as a mechanic isn't broken at all. The random chance to trip isn't too big of an issue when attributed to an attack. making it so players can gain an extra advantage when they already won neutral by landing a hit. What is a problem, however, is when players are punished without any choice or input for options that are integral to the game's movement. It is unreasonable to expect players not to dash or turn around when jumping out of a turnaround animation was a good change from Melee to Brawl. Ever since the random chance to trip from a dash or turnaround was removed, tripping was just another mechanic in an already complex game. But it's always funny to look back on its most notorious cause and its effect on Brawl as a whole, both competitively and casually. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to— Whoa!